how I built my strength, stamina, unbreakable grips, sharpened my main throws, and became nearly unthrowable in 180 days without relying on the dojo all the time. Welcome, guys, to this life-changing little presentation that I created for you guys. I really think if you stick to the end and you really pay attention, and this is something that aligns with your goals, man, it really can change your life and be what you're looking for. So take a look, man. The little photo here on the left where it says me getting wrecked, that was in a competition back in, I think it was my second competition actually, in like 2019, and I started 2018. A lot of you guys who follow me for a while on like YouTube or Instagram probably know my story. When I started stuff, started in 2018, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, dude, I lost to that guy actually. He freaking pinned me. And he pinned me, and get this, he wasn't even a judo guy. He was a jiu-jitsu guy. Well, from what I know, because like I was fighting with him. Like, even if you happen to be watching this video, bro, like, respect to you for actually like fighting. But from back then, his skill, like, standing up wasn't even like that good. Honestly, like, he didn't really have much throwing technique. He was just more good on the ground, which is why I couldn't escape his Kesagatame. But anyways, yeah, I should have won that tournament, but yeah, man, it was one of my worst performances, honestly. And then we got this photo that was taken recently, screenshot from a video of me doing randori at my new club. It's super competitive. Just one of the many successful throws. My favorite throw is Uchimata that I land now on advanced guys. Like, this guy isn't just anybody. He's a black belt. He's been competing. Look, you can see the national Judo on him, USA, with his last name on it, and that's me throwing him with an Uchimata. So this is me now, and I'm really proud of my progress I made. And in this video, man, I'm going to show you pretty much how I did it in 4 months and how I just flipped the switch and just decided that judo is something I want to take seriously, and I'm going to achieve my personal goals with it. Let's get started. All right, guys, so just so you understand how I'm not like pulling this out of my butt, and this is how my current life, my current performance is, how things look like now with judo at the club where I train, my confidence mentally, physically, everything, right? So get this, after improving in the last like 4 months that I did really decide to take this thing seriously and apply the methods that I'm going to share in this video, get this, instructors at my club and past clubs, but this club in particular is special because it is super competitive. Olympic judokas come here, guys, like black belts, people who compete nationally. This isn't just some like old people club or like, you know, chill or whatever. No, this is like you come and you work. And trust me, when I first came here a couple years ago, I was getting my ass handed to me. But get this, now at the level I'm at now, I get recognition from the instructors who have a past of competing internationally and are super good themselves. Other high-level, elite, Olympic-level judokas who I train with also recognize my skill, and I get their respect because they know that I'm good now. Like, I'm pretty much there with them. From my technique to my strength, it's indescribable how I am now, guys. Literal compliments, guys. Like, they literally like been complimented. Like, yo, like, I remember a comment from one of the guys training was like, yo, like, you're like Uchimata's gotten a lot better since the last time we trained. And just compliments like that is really motivating for me to keep going, and it just further reinforces what I've been doing has been working. And I'm going to share it with you if you actually finish watching this video with me. Reduction in anxiety against opponents who are better than me. Like, I no longer have that fear. You know, that anxiety when you're doing a competition or when you're doing randori and you're like, oh no, I don't know how this guy fights. Like, you don't know how maybe he's a new guy, you've never seen him fight before, you don't know his techniques. Just anxiety before fighting. Here's the thing, you're always gonna have anxiety no matter what, because it's just a normal human reaction response to stress and survival mechanism we carry in our brain. However, I noticed after I got into the level I'm at now with my judo, it's significantly lower. My anxiety is pretty much, I could say, non-existent. I would even replace it with excitement. I'm excited to fight guys better than me. How? It didn't just happen overnight. There's a saying that says, with confidence, with competence comes confidence. So I only got to this level of no anxiety and super confidence fighting against even guys better than me is because I know I'm good. Because I know I built my way up to this level, and I know I don't play around, and I've actually earned the level of skill that I'm at now. And I know I can give opponents that are even better and heavier than me friggin' hell. Increase my success, throwing success rate. So, and later in this presentation, I'm going to tell you exactly what I tell myself mentally when I'm doing randori. But yeah, man, like whenever I come in for an Osoto, an Uchimata, or a Yoko Tuonage, I notice my form is better, my entry is better, and I actually do the throw now. I succeed. The success rate for the throw is good. And the other thing, you're not always going to enter for a perfect throw, especially against, higher level guys. But I'm throwing more consistently and more successfully, which is freaking a massive improvement for me. And here's another one. Knowing what to do with my hands when fighting, kumikata, instead of awkwardly trying to grip like an amateur. So, when you first start judo or you don't have that much fighting experience, you're kind of like, oh, you don't know how to grab, and you're just kind of awkwardly just holding the traditional like lapel hand and a sleeve hand with your left, and you're just like waiting to throw. You just look awkward. No, like, let me clip this on here. Like now I'm like literally like aggressive as hell. Like I have my hands up. Like I freaking like grab the lapel and feed it to the other. I push him down. I grab top Georgian grip, and like I move him around. My movement's better. Like super aggressive kumikata, breaking the grips, knowing how, like strengthening these freaking gorilla forearms of mine for judo. Man, like it's just way different, and it's crazy how like quickly I developed this. It's not rocket science, and I'm going to explain to you guys in this presentation how you can do that for yourself too. No, look, here's another cool one. After getting to this level that I'm at now, guys, no longer was I driving home beating myself up mentally about how much I sucked in practice. When I first started judo, like my first 3 months, I was getting my ass kicked by freaking like black belts heavier than me. I remember my freaking like rib cage was sore the next day because some dude like threw me hard and like slammed on top of me. Heavyweight guy too, and he had no mercy. And he kept me pinned in a kesa on my rib cage. And it was freaking annoying. I was like, damn, Joe, you really suck. I just like beat myself up mentally. And now it's the freaking opposite. Now I feel proud of myself. Even if I get my ass handed to me, because I know how to give my best freaking effort and I know it's actually working. And I've gotten better this way. And some other ones like stronger physical attributes from my training program that I've applied to myself, technical improvement, obviously, and I got promoted to brown belt during this period of time. And in this presentation, you're going to understand my take on ranks, how I really don't think that ranks determine whether you're like elite or not. It's really just how skilled and athletic you are. But we're going to dive more into that in the later slides. And up next here, if it friggin' moves, come on. Is this the next slide? Okay, cool. All right, so this is how we know if you're in the right video, guys. Who this is for. Guys who have been doing judo for about 1 to 5 years. You're kind of like an intermediate level. You're decent. Maybe a couple of throws, basic, decent gripping. But you want to get to that next level, right? You want to have that advantage over your opponents. And what does that look like? You want to increase your grip strength, your control, your kumikata. You want to develop explosive, fast twitch muscle fiber that's going to help you with your throws and just be more explosive as an athlete needs to be. Refine your primary throws. Increase cardio endurance so you're not freaking gassed out when you're doing randori rounds or fighting somebody. How are you going to... It's useless to be really good at a throw if you're already gassed out because you can't execute it unless you're like at least 80% of your max strength cardio. And sharpen your combinations, which is nice to know and fancy, even on top of regular classes, guys. Like, this is a method that's going to help you skyrocket on top of going to regular dojo practice. This is for guys who go to practice only. That was a typo. Or no, it was not a typo, actually. This is correct. This is for guys who only go to practice and don't really do anything else on top of that. They don't have a structured weightlifting routine, strength training routine for judo that's effective and addresses judo-specific strength, as I mentioned previously, developing that explosiveness that's going to help you with your throws instead of just basic bodybuilding stuff. Endurance, control, flexibility, posture, and sharper technique. Everything that's going to help you in your game. This is for guys who want to accelerate their strength and skill outside of the dojo. If you find yourself missing practice because of your job, maybe your personal commitments or other responsibilities, but you don't want to lose that physical and technical progressive momentum that you've built from, maybe you've been training consistently for the last month and you've been seeing improvements, but work has been getting hectic and it's getting in the way and your consistency's dropped. Well, the solution's in this video, because this is a method that's going to allow you to make progress even at home, at the comfort of your own home or anywhere else, if you can't make it to the dojo at whatever given day for whatever reason, right? This is for you in that case, if that's you. And lastly, if you want to sharpen your judo without necessarily feeling the pressure and injury risk of tournaments or competitions. Later in the slide, I'm going to explain a little bit why. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Like, you don't need to compete to become super high level at judo. It helps. It really does. Like, competitions are like twice as effective as randori, because the difference between randori and competition is randori is like free practice, practicing safely. You're taking your falls. The competition is like, okay, like, I'm not going to take falls. I'm going to post. I'm going to resist. I'm going to give it 100% effort because I want to win. And more your ego is involved. So the rate for injury is higher because you're going to be resisting throws. You might get thrown and like stick your arm out and post, and you might like slam on top of you. You might bust your arm. I've gotten badly hurt doing judo competitions in the past. So, I mean, it's really up to you. I don't want to discourage you. If you're a competitor, absolutely, this is still going to help you. And if you're not a competitor, it's still going to help you. If you're doing judo for self-defense or recreation, it's still going to help you. But who this is not for? This is not for somebody that, if a minor injury or work or life stress or a bad day of training occurs to you, and that is enough to make you quit or like slack off for a couple of weeks, this isn't for you. You got to be consistent. This is only going to work if you never miss a day, or at least 95% consistent with it in 4 months. If you're not willing to commit to training outside of class, whether it's doing extra drills, mobility, strength for a period of time, this isn't for you guys. Again, you got to be consistent with it. And you got to potentially sacrifice things that would otherwise prevent you from doing the work. This is not for you if you think just going to practice alone and over time you'll become great. The saying says success loves speed, guys. Yeah, sure. Will you get better over time if you just go to the dojo? Sure. But this isn't the point of this program. Chances are you didn't choose this video because you want to progress slowly. You want to find a way to get better fast. And I'm telling you, if you're just going to the dojo like 2-3 times a week, that's all you're doing, you're not going to get better fast. You got to be training on top of the dojo other days, or even on the same day if you're a freaking killer. Okay? If you're not willing to suffer when training to improve your cardiovascular endurance so you can last longer in randori rounds, this is not for you. Because, guys, if you want to develop good cardio and get that next level, you're going to have to suffer. You're going to have to push past your comfort zone. And it's just like building muscle, literally. Like, you got to demand one more rep than your body is willing to give you. Usually you're going to be in an extremely fatigued state to get to that next level. It's like going from Super Saiyan 2 to Super Saiyan 3, like, you got to back yourself up in a corner. It's crazy how Dragon Ball Z can really portray real life events. But anyways, lastly here, if you're not ready to invest time, energy, and money into even some equipment, guys, like I'm not even saying you got to buy a whole freaking dojo. Absolutely not. Like 2 to 3 pieces of good equipment is pretty much all you need, or none. Honestly, like you got to be resourceful is the point. If you're not willing to invest in mentorship and a routine for yourself, man, this is not for you. Okay, nothing in life comes easy. Nothing's handed to you. You got to actually freaking suffer to get a result that is worth having. Because think about it. If something like becoming a great judoka was easy and like a magic fix, don't you think a lot of people in your dojo would be top level? Yeah, obviously, but sorry to wake you up into reality, but life isn't like that. If you want to get something that's above average, if you want to be better than somebody else, if you want to be better than everybody else, you have to be willing to do more than everybody else. It's all about your inputs. If your input is a lot greater than somebody else's input, guess what? Your outputs, your results, your achievements are going to be much greater than the person who is putting in less. It's that simple. Just making sure this is the next slide. Okay. Now here's the truth, guys. You don't need to compete to reach an advanced level. Kind of as I explained in that previous slide, I have competed in the past, gotten badly injured. If you're a competitor and you love it and it's just that's the point of doing judo, you're doing it as a sport. Absolutely. I commend you for that. Continue doing that. However, I know there's some guys that don't want to compete because maybe they're afraid of getting injured, that sort of thing. It all depends on your personal goals. So I'm just here to tell you, you can still become an amazing freaking advanced judoka and not go to a single tournament. Okay, so don't feel bad about that. You don't have to destroy your joints, bones, and your body in general from fighting so much to become an advanced judoka, guys. Got to train smart. Oh, he's a funny one. Being jacked. How many guys have seen this? Being jacked does not mean you can fight. So many bodybuilders and stuff that, oh, they come off tough. But, bro, I bet somebody that weighs half as less as you could beat your ass. And he's actually good at judo. So it helps to be jacked, but it's like if you don't know any judo, you're gonna get your ass handed to you. But I would say like strength is 50% of being a good judoka. Like you have to have 50% amazing technique and then 50% muscle mass, judo specific, like fast twitch muscle mass to back it up. And you will be better than like 90% of people if you have developed like judo specific strength. But you don't have to be jacked. You don't have to be jacked either. You just have to have a basic foundation of strength through judo-specific strength training and doing lots of randori, plus skill, which will come when you're doing your randori and training on your own. You don't need some fancy Olympic facility to get better fast. Just showing up to class is not enough, guys, as we said previously. Always relying on your instructor to teach you isn't going to help improve rapidly. I'm going to tell you a little secret. Most instructors aren't really that good. I would rather listen to somebody who's constantly living the lifestyle, who's training and who's good, versus like an old retired like black belt who doesn't even really do randori or at least try and just teaching. You know, because even if they were good back in their day, if you're not constantly like living the lifestyle, guys, we're human beings. We forget. You know, muscle memory is a thing. There's a saying that says repetition is the father of learning. So if you're not constantly repeating, you're going to forget. So it's better to learn from somebody who's constantly training, constantly practicing where he preaches, rather than just preaching and not practicing. Okay? So not saying for you to judge your instructors when you go, but just know that, like, if you want to get to the next level, like, you can't trust somebody who is not at the level physically or technically that you want to be at, okay? It's a basic general rule of life. So you don't need to know 15 throws, tons of throws and techniques to be an advanced athlete. Bruce Lee once said, I do not fear a man that knows 1,000 kicks. I fear the man who's practiced one kick 1,000 times. Do the math there. You don't need to know that many technique, guys. My whole method is 2 to 3 throws. That's it. That's all you need. Ono Shohei, arguably the best judoka in history. Guess what his best, most effective throw is that's helped him win multiple titles in matches? Osotogari. And that's the number one first throw, basic throw you learn in judo. And he perfected it. Just watch how he does it. Like, look up Ono Shohei's Osotogari. He literally, like, twerks, brings his head all the way to the ground, and, like, uses his body to off-balance the opponent. Like, if you focus on, like, one throw for 4 months, and you do all the exercises, and you just do it, try it in randori, you will freaking make a basic throw, like Osotogari, look super advanced, guys. But I'm saying you should at least have 2 to 3 primary throws in your arsenal when you're fighting. So, you know, your opponent, if you just have one, for example, you're just doing Osotogari, like your opponent's going to read you. He's just going to go for Osotogari all the time. So I'll just defend for it. Have at least 2 to 3, like perfected though, like not like somewhat knowing. Like for me, for example, I perfected my Uchimata, my Kataguruma, and those are like my primary throws. Like I like doing those the most. And then, like, you have your occasional, I call them situational throws, because sometimes, depending on your opponent's position and stuff, it might not be appropriate to go for an Uchimata. Like, they might be, like, you know, crouched like this. And that would be a perfect opportunity to do, like, a Tomonage or a Sumigaeshi. Sacrifice throws. So, also practice those, but don't put as much emphasis on it. Like, don't practice them as much as your primary throws, because your primary throws are what you're going to depend on the most. You know what I mean? Comment down below if you understand what I mean. What else? Anything else about the techniques? Yeah, it's like this whole program, this whole method, mine, guys. It's all like doing, especially for busy guys who work and have responsibilities. You don't have all the time in the world to be practicing 15, 25 throws, different techniques. No, like with all the time that you have, the little limited time you have, just work on the needle moving tasks, okay? The throws that you're actually going to use. Like, don't be like ADHD all over the place and trying to do everything. No, just 2, 3 throws max, okay? And lastly, you don't need decades of training or a brown or black belt to be considered great at judo. This is the goal. We just want to go from where we are now, like, 2, 5 years of judo experience to next level. And if you really lock in for 4 months, guys, and you don't miss a day and you give it your all, you can become really advanced. Trust me. You don't need decades of this. Decades of training, guys who are like good, who are like below or like below elite level, who've been training for 10 years, they probably don't train on their own or even as much, maybe occasionally. Those are the guys from the previous slide who, where is it? Those are the guys from this slide, you see, that only go to practice and think that that's enough, and over time you'll become great. Yeah, that's the math right there. It'll take you 10 years to become great because you're not giving it your all every single day with the limited time you have. I'm telling you, you can make a lot more progress. You can make 10 years worth of progress in 4 months if you really lock in, you don't miss a day, and you're doing the needle moving tasks, which you're going to learn in meditation, guys. And so don't worry. I'm not going to let that happen to you. All the limitations, every misconception you might have heard about becoming a great judo athlete. Because no such thing, I was going to tell you in the first slide, there's no such thing as a black belt automatically making you an amazing judo athlete. Guys, ranks are just a color. In most places, they only give you a black belt if you complete a series of kata. But, like, do you want to be good at kata or do you want to be a good fighter? Most of us are here because you want to be a judo badass. You want to fight. Maybe you want to, like, take on MMA later. You want to have a good base of judo grappling. Maybe you want to continue competing, go to national level. Hell, maybe even be an Olympic athlete one day. Self-defense, be a beast. Feel confident. You want to be a good judoka. And I'm telling you, I was pretty decent, even at a green belt level. I was still beating black belts when I was a green belt. I'm a current brown belt right now, and I still give black belts hell and throw them cleanly on their back. A black belt signifies experience, but it doesn't guarantee top-tier skill or athleticism. Like I said, guys, there's a lot of out-of-shape black belts who aren't that good. They just aren't. To be advanced judoka who can actually throw people on their backs, you need to last multiple rounds of randori. Okay, you have to have that endurance. You have to have amazing, aggressive kumikata, like fighting control and super unbreakable forearm strength. You got to be athletic. Okay, good cardio, good muscle mass, low body fat to be most effective athlete in general. Aggression, mental toughness. You got to be in shape. Again, low body fat. And you got to know how to apply your techniques in combat. You got to have experience. That's why doing randori and getting fighting experience is good, because how else are you going to, like, if you're just training on your own all day, you're not going to know how to apply what you're practicing in a real scenario. So you got to, later in the slide, I'm going to explain how you need to do both. It's kind of like bread and butter. Okay. So if you want that person to be you, if you want to be that advanced athlete, I'll show you exactly how to throw sharper, polish that technique, develop max endurance, cardio, increase muscular strength, fast twitch muscle, explosive muscle for judo, without needing to test your abilities in injury-prone tournaments. Okay, we talked about that. How to structure your training to see measurable improvements in your throwing success rate, grip strength, kumikata, and cardio without wasting times on ineffective drills. Okay, like I told you previously, you don't have to try to do a bunch of different techniques. Just focus on the needle moving tasks, 2 to 3 throws. And also the training and exercises that will improve your technique, 2 to 3 throws. Why black belt doesn't always equate to mastery. How to be better than most black belts regardless of your rank. How to train properly at the dojo, making most out of your time while supplementing with individual training. So kind of how to leverage your time at the dojo and to leverage what you're doing at home and combine the two to make that exponential progress to that advanced level we want to get to. And in case you don't know me, and here is a brief backstory of how I got to where I currently am. So sit tight. So if you're new, you probably don't know that I started judo in 2018. I have a background in soccer. In fact, I wanted to become a professional soccer player all throughout high school. I played high school soccer. I played club during the off season, and it just didn't work out. I quit soccer when I was 18, and I still wanted to do something. I was still hungry and I was ambitious. I had all this athleticism that I built out. I'm like, bro, I don't want to let this go to waste. And then it was kind of like 2018, right? During 2017, late 2017, during the phase of the Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather boxing match, and it's a mix of that and like Bruce Lee, watching a lot of Bruce Lee, like motivated me. Like, all right, I'm gonna become an MMA fighter, and I just got indulged in like the martial arts realm. I remember I was working as a housekeeper at this one gym and had a heavy bag, and I was always hitting the bag with my boxing glove, just kicking. And then it wasn't until I met a personal trainer who did jiu-jitsu and or judo classes. So he would bring one of those roll-up mats and he would just like train people, like show them like basic grappling stuff. Then I asked him for a free session and he showed me a little bit of judo. And also my dad is a judoka. He's been trained since he was 18, and he also like pushed me to try judo. A lot of you guys probably ask, like, "Why, if your dad was a judoka, why weren't you doing judo since you were a kid?" That's a topic for a different video, right? But then that inspired me. My dad gave me that push, and I was like, screw it. I'm going to find a judo club, and I'm going to start now. And later that summer, yeah, we found a local club, started training in 2018. And then later that fall, that same year, I did my first competition, got first place. I did really well. All the athleticism that I developed from soccer, the good cardio strength, and I was working out. I had some good muscle mass from working out in the gym, but it was more bodybuilding focused. It all translated, and I had a leg up on most white belts, because most white belts don't even train. They're just lazy. They just go to the dojo, and that's all they do. And they think they're going to magically get really good just doing that. Wrong. And, yeah, and I had some good momentum going, guys. And then it wasn't until COVID, like after COVID, like even COVID, like I was still training. I was still going to this dojo who like doesn't care about COVID and like all that stuff. I went there and I bought a Judo dummy, this one that you see here. It's all like ripped. I don't own this one anymore. I throw it out because it was like 3 or 4 years old, made of synthetic crappy leather, and it's gonna rip. And it did rip. And I got pretty good, but then I stopped because I got distracted from women because I had this freaking insecurity from high school because I was like a freaking virgin all my life. I was like 21, never had a girlfriend, never went to homecoming, never did any of that. I have tons of other videos where I explain my past, but I am a Christian man, so I do regret doing all that. But I did develop good confidence, like social skills, so that was the only good thing that I got from that. And I just really was inconsistent. I probably show up to a dojo like once in a blue moon. I was still going to the gym because I still believe like judo aside, like I have standards for my body. Like I don't want to like lose muscle mass or get fat. Like I don't like to be any fatter than 12% body fat year round. As you can see here, I'm pretty lean. And I think to be an effective athlete in general, being around 10 to 12, 13, 15% body fat, absolute max. If you're any fatter than 15%, you're going to be slower. You're going to get more fatigued. You're not going to last as much. Your cardio is going to suck. But yeah, like I'm like, in 2021, man, I just went on like a cold approach spree. I was trying to get as many girls as possible. Wasn't prioritizing actual important things. I actually thought that was going to benefit me more in life. I mean, it has its pros, but honestly, it would have been way more beneficial if I just continued my judo journey. Anyways, yeah, that like killed my momentum. And then I got injured, man. I originally sprained my AC joint in my last judo competition in 2019, and then I re-injured it like 2 or 3 years after that because I didn't warm up on the bench press, and I was out for like almost a year, guys. It sucked. That's another reason why I'm really cautious about doing tournaments because like if I get injured again and I'm out for a while, yeah, there goes all my progress. And I hate that. I hate sitting on the couch and recovering. But here's the thing. When I got back to training, it wasn't until 2020, literally last year, 2020, the end of 2023, like the beginning of 2024, I just had a New Year's resolution. All right, I'm going to get my brown belt. I did that. I was going to commit to doing judo and getting really good. I didn't realize that, even with a busy schedule, even when I was getting girls, like I still, as long as I did the needle moving tasks and trained at least 30 minutes a day with the actual needle moving tasks that made me better and not waste time doing ineffective drills, that's all I needed. And yeah, my breaking point that actually woke me up and made me want to actually go all in with this was I didn't want to keep wasting time. Okay, I was like 25 at the time, and I was like, okay, I'm still young. I want to max out my potential, my youth, my testosterone is going to be at the highest, and do something with this. And I had personal goals with judo, and I wanted to become a beast. I'm like, I'm not going to keep wasting time on stupid like wastes of times, girls, and stuff like that. After I locked in and I made that decision, my progress skyrocketed, guys. And voila. Fast forward to today, I'm at a super advanced level. I'm throwing guys. My stamina's good. I'm aggressive fighting. My style is amazing. I look like an actual like stylish fighter out there, not just an amateur who doesn't know what he's doing with his hands. I can do what I want now with my current skills, whether it's to test myself again in competition one day, some other personal goals where it's like self-defense, even start MMA. Like now I have a good basic foundation of grappling. Now all I would need to do in that case would be to just focus on striking for 1 to 2 years, and I'd be like a top MMA fighter. And maybe if that's one of your goals, awesome. Come on. Is that next? Okay. Oof. Alrighty, guys. So I call this method the Judo Ascension method. So it's a little method. It's basically what I created for myself, which during this period, which helped me ascend from that sloppy, untechnical, weak guy getting thrown around into an explosive, technical, and endurant judoka. I forged this system through judo-specific strength training, hundreds of reps of my go-to, 2 to 3 primary throws, techniques, real fighting experience, like randori and little bits of competition that I did before getting badly injured, and training alongside Olympic elite and Olympic judokas. Yeah, you heard that right. Olympic judokas, guys. It's not a joke. This club that I go to is super competitive. Literally yesterday, we had Nick Del Popolo. I don't know how many times, but I know you could look him up. He's a U.S. judo Olympian, guys. I know for a fact he went to Rio, the Olympics in Rio 2016. And yeah, I have some footage with him actually. I'm definitely going to upload that. So yeah, we were working on some Tai Otoshis and like some setups yesterday. We've had Peter Pelchek, the Israeli Olympian, I think like 2 or 3-time Olympic medalist. Really freaking good guy. He's like a 100-kilo fighter. And we had Denis Ranieri, the Moldovan guy. He's been there too. And this other guys, my friend Alex Knopf, he was a training partner for the U.S. Olympic team in Paris last summer. So he's the guy that I train with the most. And yeah, I've learned so much from these guys, man. And like, I'm so blessed to go to this club. It's super competitive. And it's like, if you want to get to the next level, guys, if you want to be better, you can't be the best in your club. Because if you're the best in your club, you have no reason to improve. You have nobody making you self-conscious about where you are. You have no competition. Okay? Like, there might be like girls watching this, but if you're Chandler, if you're a man, you have that masculine, natural, competitive urge. You know, if there's somebody better than you, it's gonna make you like, frick, I need to be better. And trust me, at this club, a lot of people are better than me, and that makes me like. There's a sense that you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. So if you're surrounded by 5 amazing Olympic level judokas and you take your judo seriously, you're gonna ascend with them, and that is really what I've been absorbing lately, and it's freaking amazing. And all of this, guys, I've decided to break it all down for you. Here it is, finally. In the following steps, I'll outline the entire process from A to Z of what I did to accomplish these results that I mentioned the previous 37 minutes, so that you can use my method too. Okay, so the process overview. So number 1 is the dojo. So how to leverage the dojo, right? So committing to showing up at least twice a week. Twice a week. That is all you need. I would, if you have the time, go as many times as possible, but minimum do twice a week. And specifically, you want to do randori twice a week. Okay, sparring. This is where you're going to put into play everything you've been working on. And this is where you gain combat experience, right? Like, how are you going to, like, not know how to fight? Like, you're not going to know what to work on if you're not like testing it out in real life scenarios. That's what free practice is for, sparring. So yeah, go to the dojo. Number 2 would be judo specific solo training. This is, grappling dummy work. Guys, if you're not like, a grappling dummy is pretty cheap. Like, you don't have to get a super expensive like leather or military grade A vinyl ones. I'm probably going to get one though, because I prefer quality over quantity, because if you invest more into one with quality like leather or something material, it's not going to rip. It'll last you like decades. But if you want to improve fast, guys, don't even do that. Just get the cheap like $40 to $50 one. It's still better than nothing. Just do that if you're really that broke. So do the grappling. I'm going to show you everything I did with the grappling dummy, resistance bands, and shadow entries to do uchikomis with. And I'm going to show you guys, I'm going to tell you guys more in detail exactly how I train. A specific judo strength training workout that's actually going to benefit you for athleticism and judo rather than just bodybuilding. And nutrition. Nutrition, guys, you can't be expecting to be an amazing athlete and then put crap in your body, okay? Every athlete, even if you're a basketball player, like not just judo, in general, you should be eating healthy, okay? You're a machine. You got to put quality fuel into your machine. How are you expecting to drive fast if you don't have like expensive, high quality food and fuel in you? And lastly, mentality, guys. Making a commitment to go all in with your training and be consistent. Be fearless of any opponent you go against. Be willing to learn. You can't be a wuss with this, guys. Next slide. So now that you see what is possible from what I talked about, let me walk you through exactly how I made this exponential progress that I'm talking about by leveraging my home training, the gym with strength training, and the dojo. Okay, so we're going to start with the dojo. What exactly to do when the times that you're at the club, the dojo. All right, so here's me actually. Like I said previously, minimum go twice a week, guys. If you want to see that exponential progress, go as many times as you can, but if your schedule does not allow, minimum, do your best to show up twice a week. Trust me, because this is where you put everything into play, guys. This is where you work on your grip control, like you understand movement, like you're not just throwing a grappling dummy, like your opponent's moving around. You're going to learn how to control them, how to fit in properly for throws. This is where you learn setups for your throws, combinations, grip fighting. Develop that judo specific cardio, guys, because it's different than just running for 90 minutes. Fighting against different weight opponents, all of it is super necessary if you want to become really good. Drilling with guys who are better than you will help you learn faster. So this is the other than randori, so what you should be doing. I mean, some clubs are different, guys. Like, luckily, I'm at more of a chill club where you can kind of just do your thing. They won't yell at you. But if you're at a more formal club, you kind of have to follow what they do. But most clubs will let you drill throws after. You just got to ask. So I would do that. I would stay after and do like 3 to 5 sets, 3 sets of 5 reps of any throw you want, especially throws that you can't do elsewhere on a soft mat, like tomonage, where you're landing on your back. Yeah, you don't want to do that on the grass. Like, trust me, I'd done that and it banged up my back. Don't do that. Only practice those throws when you're at the dojo. And that's how you really skyrocket, man. Because when you throw in a dummy, it's different than throwing a real human, because a human is like moving and shifting weights, right? Okay, so when you're doing randori, this is the trick, if you remember from the beginning, that I was going to tell you specifically what I tell myself mentally when I'm doing randori, is you want to work on 2 things, your attack and your defense. So when it comes to defense, mentally, I just tell myself to just stand strong. Imagine I'm a boulder with glue at the bottom. Like, I have glue on my feet and nobody can move me. Okay, like if somebody's pulling you towards them, what do? You shift your weight back. You resist. You don't let them move you around and drag you around like a rag doll. And you just tell yourself, that's what I'm going to do. I'm a freaking heavy rock. Nobody can move me. And with your kumikata, meaning your grip fighting, if somebody's got a good grip on you, you got to rip that shit. You got to rip their grip. Don't let them grab you, because if you stay there too long and if they're good, they're going to freaking throw you. So that's the 2 things for defense. When it comes to attacking and improving your attacks, I tell myself mentally every 5 seconds, I got to go for uchimata. Your primary 2 throws, guys. Every 5 seconds, shoot, shoot, shoot. If it's seonage, shoot for dropping seo. If it's osoto, every 5 seconds, go for osoto, 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 until you're freaking tired. Okay, it's better to sit out. It's better to participate in all the rounds when you're fatigued and get your butt kicked because you're so fatigued that you can't go any longer than just sitting out because you're a wuss. Unless you're like took pre-workout or something and your heart's about to explode, yeah, it's better to be safe than sorry, because trust me, that's happened to me. But the point is, you got to do your best, guys. And yeah, man, through randori, this is how you truly discover your fighting style. You have to spar with some people. Heck, if you can't go to dojo, if you have somebody who's willing to train with you, like go into some backyard and like practice grip fighting, but don't like throw. You could throw, but like not super hard, where you're gonna like break their back. Or even at the beach. Yeah, if you have a beach, sand is a good place to take falls too. And yeah, fight. This is another key for randori, guys. Fight with guys who are both better than you and less, like lower rank, where you're better than them, like white belts and stuff. Here's why. Contrary to common belief, you're training with white belts, there's no honor in that. Yeah, I agree. Like if you're fighting with nothing but white belts, yeah, you're like lazy. But there's a value to both. When it comes to fighting with white belts, this is really effective to really polish your technique and to apply your throws, your primary throws that you've been working on in real life scenarios, versus doing it on a more advanced guy who is going to be harder, who's not going to allow it as easily. Okay, because when you're doing throws in randori, it's just the whole point of why you're practicing to throw in the first place is to how to apply the throw in a real life scenario when somebody's like pushing up against you and trying to evade your attacks. That's what it's going to help with. And on the other side, you also want to drill with guys that are better than you, because you're not going to learn anything other than polishing your technique from going against white belts all the time. When you're fighting against heavier or more advanced guys, not necessarily heavier. Heavier is if you want to like push yourself, right? But like they could be like heavier white belts, which is also good too. But I'm talking about like advanced guys. He might be the same weight as you, but he's been like like a national level fighter, you know, he's better than you, right? You're going to learn from his style, his grip fighting, his kumikata, some of his combinations. You're going to learn. God, I can't tell you how much I've learned just from fighting against one of my friends, Alex, who is literally an Olympic level judoka, man. I've learned so much from just literally fighting from him and exchanging blows with him. I've learned so much, guys. It's just indescribable. So you got to do both. Fight with both. Do a mix of both, fighting like white belts or like guys who you're better than, who you can throw with ease, and guys who you struggle to fight with, because you will learn from both. And that's it for the slide. Now we're going on to the solo judo stuff. So this is what the technical stuff that you should be doing on your own on top of the dojo. So this is like the meat and potatoes of this whole thing, guys. Strength training too. That is also part of it, but just when it comes to strictly technique, like being good at judo, these are the two things you absolutely need to lock in on. I would honestly rather, if you can't even lift weights, I would whatever. Like it is like that next thing that's going to help you, give you the advantage over most fighters, because most people are freaking lazy and don't want to lift weights. But if all you can do is go to the dojo and, you know, train with a grappling dummy or everything else that I'm going to explain in this slide, then you'll be good to go. But what's really going to take you to the next level is the next slide. I'm going to explain strength training. But anyways, okay, so this combined with randori is, again, what's going to really skyrocket your progress. So invest in a grappling dummy, guys. If you're serious about getting better, you need to get a freaking dummy. Like I said, you can get like low quality ones for $40 to $50 on Amazon. It's better than nothing. Start with that, and then if it rips, just buy a $600 like leather one. Who cares, guys? Are you serious about getting better or not? So when you do get your dummy, practice at least, like, if you're really low on time, at least the minimum should be 25 throws, but ideally you'd be doing 50 to 100 reps of your primary throw. Like, for example, me, I only did like Uchimata, like 150 to 100 reps on like given days. Did that, and boy, did my technique improve fast. Like, I literally perfected Uchimata, I almost perfected it as like a newbie in judo, like my first year. Just doing this. I think I got my grappling in like the second year of judo, and I started just with I was like a college kid, so I had all the time in the world. Guess what? I was just practicing on the dummy, and that really helped me. But you actually got to throw it with intent. Like, imagine he's a real person that you're fighting with, and throw him with all your might. Practice good kazushi, good form, good kake, good finishing. Okay? And another method is uchikomi, practicing your entries with a resistance band. So this is for more like guys who are less experienced and you're still trying to dial in like your rotation, your fit-ins, get the form down, especially with like the seonagis. Those are really good. I mean, I still do band work till this day, but as advanced as I am, if you're like more and more advanced, I would work more on like the grappling dummy throws and doing randori. But honestly, anybody would benefit from doing this. It keeps you sharp, okay? So if you don't have that, you can also do what are known as shadow uchikomis, like shadow entries. The Japanese term is tendoku renshu. So you know how shadow boxers practice? Just imagine punching. That's you with shadow uchikomis. You just imagine you're fitting in, like just fit in. You could also do like wall uchimatas. You know what I mean? Like just practice your fit-ins. Footwork drills with the triangle or cones, letter, anything that you have, kind of like you see me here. I got like this thing where I'm practicing like my ouchi or uchimata, like getting my feet in that triangle that you create between your opponent's feet and where you are, and you want to like step in that triangle to get them off balance. It's kind of difficult to explain here. I'd have to show you, you know, in person, but I have videos about that. And then, yes, judo specific hit cardio, high intensity stuff. So really the technical stuff, guys, is throwing to grappling dummy tons of times, doing uchikomis, but that's more technical focused. If you want to focus on increasing your judo specific cardio to last longer in rounds, you have to set up a high intensity interval training session routine. So for example, my go-to, because I'm a simple guy, I don't do a bunch of complicated stuff. My simple ones is I do 4 sets of circuits, like supersets. Okay, so for the first set, I'm gonna drop down and do 5 burpees. I'm gonna get right back up, and I'm gonna do like 5 band uchikomis, as you can see me doing here. That's superset number 2. The third one, I'm going to grab my dummy, and I'm going to throw him 1 time each side. And then, for the last exercise, if you have like weights or something, I have like a home barbell. I do like 5 like Judo power cleans, and I'd repeat that superset 4 times. And that really mimics the cardio that your body would be demanding when you're doing randori. Because think about it, when you're fighting, it's different from like long distance cardio, like running for 90 minutes isn't going to benefit you as much as doing HIIT cardio like this. Because when you're fighting somebody, you're not just running for 90 minutes straight. No, you're constantly like shifting, pushing them off you, changing direction, exploding, dropping down, okay? And this is what the burpees mimic, the uchikomis, and just do that, and you're going to develop, that constant increase and decrease in heart rate versus just like a steady heart rate running the same pace for 90 minutes. Hope you guys understand what I mean. Comment below if you have any questions on that. And here's a side note on why you need to do both your randori and your home training. It's like bread and butter, guys. So the grappling dummy reps and randori, they build off of each other. They're incomplete without each other. It's like, imagine a boxer who only hits the heavy bag. Like, who wants to compete, right? He's not just, doing it for cardio. Like, a boxer who's competitive and he wants to actually know how to fight realistically. So imagine a boxer who only hits the bag. That's what that is if you're only doing home training. Now, how do we translate that with Judo? Like, Judo home training is like you're hitting that bag. Randori is the sparring that boxer lacks. So if you're only hitting the bag, you lack real fight experience. If you only spar, you're not really going to polish your strengths and skyrocket your weaknesses, right? Because if you're not testing yourself and fighting against other people, how are you going to know what you're not good at? How are you going to know what you are good at and what you need to work on? You need to be going to sparring practice and doing your randori. You know what I mean? It's like typing an article and not publishing it. Like, what are you training for? So you do randori. The point of randori, guys, in my method here is to put to the test what you've been working on alone. And randori is getting the fight experience, developing your kumikata, your movement, your combos, leveraging your weight and your momentum against different weighted partners. Like, stuff you can only develop when you're fighting against other people. What the heck? Not just a grappling dummy. And trust me, you will notice doing both together helps you progress way faster compared to just doing one of these two. Cool. Now, strength training. So like I said, if you just do home Judo technical stuff and randori, you're going to be really good. But this is like the icing on the cake. This is what's really going to get you, this is what's really going to get your opponents pissed off at you, that they can't move you and that you're way stronger than them, even if they're heavier than you. You know how many guys I've sparred with at practice who are like heavier than me, and they I can just see they're like really frustrated fighting me because this is like my secret. Okay. So no more bodybuilding stuff. I mean, maybe a little bit. I'll explain later what I mean by that. So you're going to focus mostly on explosive lifts and some bodybuilding stuff, like maybe 2 max, because again, you want to be productive with your time. You want to be efficient. You don't want to waste your time you don't want to be in the gym for freaking 3 hours. Dude, who the frick is in the gym for 3 hours? It's either a high schooler or somebody you're on your phone. Like, I'm only in the gym for like 45 minutes absolute max. Seriously. I don't take breaks. Like, I do supersets and stuff. But anyways, what you want to focus on is kettlebell exercises. So real explosive, like Judo specific stuff. I love kettlebells because they really replicate fighting, because you're using your momentum, you're swinging, a lot of stuff that you're actually doing when you're fighting. You're swinging, you're shifting your weight, you're dragging people. Again, you're dragging that kettlebell, you're doing kettlebell swings, stuff like snatches, around the worlds, moving that kettlebell up and down heavy. You're doing cleans. Amazing stuff. And it's cardio too, guys. Like, if you do a nice like kettlebell like superset like circuit, oh man, like kettlebells are the ultimate like mix of cardio and hypertrophy workout. Like, you'll get your heart will start beating after doing like a set of kettlebell swings followed by like snatches and kettlebell front squats. It's tough. I love it, guys. And after just a week of doing that, I noticed the difference. Not even kidding. For the bodybuilding stuff, that's where you would work on your lagging muscles. Like, for me, my chest freaking sucks. So that's where I do like bench press. Like, you can't really, no matter what any kettlebell guru says you can't really hit chest as effectively with kettlebells. Like people just do like push-ups on the kettlebells. That's no. Do either some sort of pressing movement. Incline is my go-to. I do incline press or like dumbbell incline press. And again, if your weakness is legs, do squats or leg press or like arms. Honestly, like if you're an athlete, you probably don't even care about your arm size. But I mean, it's cool. It's like, why wouldn't you want to look freaking jacked if you're a fighter? It's like the cherry on top of being a martial artist, right? Neck training, that's something that I recently noticed is super, super important, guys, because it really prevents injuries. I sprained my neck a couple years ago in my second competition. I almost died due to having a weak neck. But I mean, the way it happened was like bad form and stuff from my throw. I'm not going to open that window. But yeah, doing stuff like, it's pretty simple. I just put a weight on my head and I do extensions, and vice versa. I put it on my head and do like that. You could also like buy one of those boxer things that they use that have chains, and you put like a weight on each side. Or you could do like, I don't have it on me, but like you could put a resistance band around you, hold it like this, and then move your head back. And just do that like every day for like 10 minutes maybe. Or like every other day, or when you're at the gym. I don't like doing it when I'm at the gym because I just want to do my judo work and get out of there. Flexibility, yeah, guys, like you're going to be really good if you are flexible too. Especially for throws like Uchimata, what requires, like, you know, reaping throws, Haragoshi, Osotogari, Tomonage, require you to really extend your legs. And Olympic style lifts. So other than kettlebell work, it's really good to do Olympic style lifts. So like stuff like barbell snatches, power cleans, clean and jerks, stuff like that. I'm a simple guy. I only focus on certain ones. Like I'm doing like, you know, little power cleans here, as you can see me doing outside with my home barbell. But yeah, those drills, those exercises are what all the Olympic judokas do. So if the top guys are doing it, maybe you should too if you want to get there. And that's pretty much it. Like you want to just craft all of this into a routine where you're doing 2 full bodies a week, doing like a superset of kettlebell snatches, kettlebell swings, and kettlebell front squats. And that's legs. And then your lagging muscles are chest, right? So you're just going to be doing a couple sets of bench press, that's chest. And you can superset that with doing pull-ups to get your lats. And that's it. That's all you need. And maybe if you have time in between, you can do an Olympic style lift where you work on your power cleans and your snatches. But that's it. You could do it all in one day, but I prefer you like divide it. If you're really busy, full body workouts are probably your best bet. I hate full body workouts, but I'm doing them now because I really have limited time. But when stuff gets better, my schedule gets better, I'm going to go back doing upper body, lower body days. So I'm just going to do like my Olympic style upper body stuff on certain days, 2 times a week, and then lower body like kettlebell work. So for upper body, do Olympic style. For lower body, that's where you would do like kettlebell and a little bit of Olympic style. Most Olympic style lifts are lower body. Mostly upper body stuff is like the bodybuilding stuff. So just mix the two and just do like your best. And nutrition. What's the point of being good if you're not fueling your body with good nutrition, guys? This is the last little bit of the advantage that it's going to give you against your opponent. Most people, let's be honest, most average people, most average athletes eat like crap. McDonald's post-workout. Who the frick goes to McDonald's after a workout? Who the frick like eats candy? Like, you're not a kid, man. Like, eat like a man. Eat quality food. Eliminate red 40 from your diet. Seed oils, all that testosterone suppressing crap. Come on. Like, we're not 5th graders anymore. So I noticed guys, like I said previously, who are in the 10 to 15%, go like 14% body fat max range are the best athletes. You're going to notice your performance is going to be better. You're going to be lighter, more explosive, quicker. Okay, so you don't have excess fat holding you back. So if you're fatter than that, you got to get yourself into fighter shape. Okay, I have tons of videos on how to do like caloric deficit, follow diet, just get lean, do cardio, count your calories on MyFitnessPal, and well, get to at least 14% body fat and you're good. So 80%, 20%. So this is like the kind of diet model, one of the diet models that I recommend following, where this is where you eat 80% clean food throughout the day. So stuff like ground beef, fruit, honey, raw milk, quality food. And then the other 20%, if you want, you can eat like junk food or whatever you want. But the best way to follow this, because if you have to train, because if you're not training and eating 80% clean, percent whatever, you're gonna probably eat like 60% clean and 40%, maybe like 20% clean and 80% unhealthy. Because I notice when you don't keep yourself busy, that's when you like eat junk food and do all your bad habits. But when you're constantly busy, like filming YouTube videos, you're at work all day and you go to judo and you go to the gym, bro, you're not gonna have time to eat junk food. And that's where it's most easiest to follow the 80-20 rule. I personally like to eat mostly animal-based foods, so I'm a big fan of eating whole eggs. Egg yolk is full of nutrition, guys. It's literally a superfood. I started eating raw honey. It's so good. Boosts your testosterone. Eggs, ground beef, chicken, just animal-based stuff. Pork, animal-based stuff, guys. No carbs, or I eat carbs like fruit, honey, but not like starchy carbs. Like no potatoes, no rice, like bloaty stuff. I'm not saying to do that. I'm saying like pick one of these two. Either eat 80% clean, which does include eating pasta, rice, whatever. Just don't eat processed crap. Like junk food is processed crap, and then 20% you can eat processed food. But I wouldn't even do that. So you can either go that route, or mostly animal-based is where you eat 100% clean, but you can eat as much as you'd like. I mean, same with this one, but it's just preference, guys. I'm just giving you guys options here. I personally like to eat animal-based foods. And slightly flexible because I eat carb balanced tortillas, which have like low carbs, but it's just like still processed. But I like my quesadillas. Like I said, yeah, you want to reduce processed and inflammatory foods because, guys, judo is an inflammatory sport. You're banging yourself up on the ground, you're hitting the mat, your body's going to be pretty inflamed. So if you're eating inflammatory carbs and processed donuts and seed oils that you're going to further inflame your body, you're not helping yourself. And then finally, meal prepping, especially if you're busy and you want to stick to your clean diet. It's actually going to help you with judo. Make your food for work the night before. That's what I do. Or if you have like ground beef and like you see me chopping up melon, I chop up in bulk like on a Saturday, and then I make it for that lasts me the entire week. That way I don't got to do it in the moment and I'm in a rush. Have everything ready. And lastly, guys, mentality. I've been going for an hour. We're almost done, guys. Don't worry. So you can't be a wuss, guys, because if you are, judo isn't for you. Judo is the toughest sport in the world. I don't care what anybody says. It really is. It really just tests your grit, your mentality, your spirit. It's tough, man. You got to figure out your why, because this is what's going to keep your eyes on the prize, even on days when you don't feel like doing the work. So many days I felt like quitting and not going to practice, and it's like justifying it. But I just remembered I have personal goals with judo. I have to be a good coach. I have to practice what I preach if I want to be a judo coach and teach people. And also, like, if I wasn't like a content creator, guys, trust me, I had these thoughts years ago. I still would do judo because for me, I feel the most confident when I know how to fight and I'm jacked, because I think it's a man's responsibility to know how to defend their loved ones. Okay, muscle alone isn't going to be enough. You got to know how to fight something, because who are your parents, who is your wife and your kids going to look up to when there's an intruder in the house? You have to be the one to fight. Visualize success, guys. Like, I visualize my performance when I'm on my way to judo. Like, okay, today I'm going to be freaking aggressive. I'm going to grab and throw, and my kumikata is going to be flawless. No more negative self-talk, guys. So you got to coordinate a routine. Use iPhone notes to just create, your Olympic lifts, your Judo Pacific lifts. What days you're going to throw the judo dummy, what days you're going to go to the gym, what days you're going to go to practice, and just coordinate everything on Google Calendars. And the Google Calendar is nice because you can schedule weeks and days in advance and just keep your routine the same. I also use a mix of that, and I also use the iPhone notes because it's more like a daily task. I like just writing my goals the night before I go to sleep, because the studies say it also helps you sleep better because you have less anxiety and like stress about what am I going to do the next day. Just journal what you're going to do and make a clear plan, because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So plan everything you're going to do with your training the next day or the whole week using Google Calendars. It's free. Find ways around obstacles to train. No more excuses, guys. We have to stop making excuses that why we didn't go to practice is, oh, I was tired, or I have to take care of my daughter today and walk my dog. No. Instead of replace that poor mentality with finding ways to make it happen. Instead of why you're not going to make it happen. Excuses. Instead of arguing for your limitations, find ways to make your goal and your plan happen. It's that simple. Don't be afraid to fight guys who are better than you in Randori, guys, because it's for your own good. You're going to get a learning lesson from it, and Judo's all about respect. Chances are, like, most guys who are better than you, like, it's just like the saying, like, a successful businessman will never laugh at a guy who's just starting his business. A jacked bodybuilder who's been in the gym will never laugh at the skinny guy's first day at the gym. Same with Judo. It's nothing different. A black belt will never, like, disrespect a white belt, because at least he's trying, you know? So don't be afraid, guys. You got to just develop that warrior mentality, not being afraid to fight. And after just 1 week, guys, of doing this system, I already saw some improvements, major ones, especially with the strength training. Like, I shifted from doing bodybuilding to, like, kettlebells and, like, shifting. It was really judo specific. It was crazy. I saw those improvements on the mat. I felt like I was quickly becoming one of the best fighters at my super competitive club, guys. It was like a light bulb moment. It was awesome, honestly. Just knowing what I was doing was working. And I realized, why would I ever want to stop if I just keep up this routine to the best of my abilities, no matter what, no excuses? My judo will continue to skyrocket and my progress with everything, and I will eventually reach my personal goals with judo. And I realized, yeah, it really is all mental, guys. Like, excuses, all that's in your head. To become advanced, it's not as complex as I thought. I just needed to be consistent with the system for months, no matter what, and the results came. All right, guys. So now that you understand exactly how my process from going to where I was, like, you know, intermediate level to advanced, and now throwing guys more efficiently, getting respect from Olympic level guys and top level instructors at my club, we have an offer for you. So only if you are a busy working person, you know, you have a 9-to-5 job and you find it hard to go to practice and that sort of thing, and you've been doing judo for about 1 to 5 years, you know your throw, you know some throws, technique's decent, but you really want to get to that next level and get that, basically the result that I shared in the whole presentation. And you don't really know how to create a routine that progresses you fast. You know, like we mentioned, the needle moving tasks that you should only be focusing on instead of wasting your time with pointless exercises and following whatever the instructor says at the dojo, then this is for you. And you want to feel confident when you're going up against advanced brown and black belts, even if you lose against them, like, you know that you've been training, you're good enough, and you're competent based on all the work you've been putting in. You've been wanting to increase your throwing success rate when you're fighting, wanting to become a consistent fighter, consistent person with your training, no matter what the circumstances are, and develop that top tier mindset to get it, to make it happen, and are wanting to become explosive, faster, and having that unbreakable grip when you're doing kumikata, super aggressive, have super amazing style, and you're wanting to develop unmatched stamina so you can last rounds and give it your all. So, guys, if you want access to the exact blueprint that got me here from that weak, sloppy amateur, getting thrown, getting my rib cage sore the next day, beating myself up, sucking in practice, and being untechnical and sloppy, to now being respected for my skills and earning that in an actual competitive dojo. Keep in mind, guys, this isn't just any dojo. Okay, this is a place where national competitors, high school, collegiate wrestlers, and Olympic athletes train at. Getting respect from those people. Imagine that. And I achieved this in 180 days. So if you want access to this exact blueprint to get this result and get to that advanced level with your judo from where you're at now, been doing judo for 1 to 5 years, decent at throws, but you want to get to that advanced level and get that respect that you deserve, book a call with me. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. or book a call directly down below. The point of the call, I'm basically going to get to know you a little bit of an introduction, and see if I can actually help you based on if you would be a good fit, if I can tell how serious you are, you know, qualifications, that sort of thing, because I don't just work with anybody. And here's the thing, if by the end of the length of the program, for whatever rare reason you don't feel satisfied with the amount that you've improved, I'm so confident in my systems that they work that if you're not satisfied for whatever reason, hell, we'll continue to work with you for free until you are. So DM me on Instagram at Joey Gonzalez, same handle as YouTube, or hit the link in the description to Calendly. Find a time that coincides with my schedule, book it fast before somebody else does, and we'll see if this is the right program for you. All right, super excited to get on with you, my man.